and good evening, fellow Americans. In tonight's radio broadcast in KT1 San Francisco, we will be telling you the latest news to keep you informed and ready. Now just sit back, relax, and enjoy this broadcast.
Welcome to KTI San Francisco, bringing you all the news from around the world. We go now to Washington for national news. Franklin Delano Roosevelt has been re-elected for now second term, winning on a landslide victory over his opponent Alf Landon of Kansas. Roosevelt won over 60% of the American vote with the continuation of his social relief programs, most popularly known as the New Deal. Already, Roosevelt has passed more than 10 of these well-known programs that will alleviate the poor in a much depressed America. The more popular of these programs, such as the Works Progress Administration, have already hired more than 2 million Americans in dire need of employment. The more recent approved programs, such as the Social Security Act, work to provide relief to the handicapped and the elderly. The more recent Surplus Commodities Program give food to those in dire need of nutrition, and we can expect many more of these programs to continue along with the President's term. These programs have been popular in numbers with unemployment at a new low since the Great Crash, but with over half of government spending towards social relief, progress is expected. With all actions taken, critics are sure to come from both left and right. The President has taken measures to fix prices too much, and two programs, the Agriculture Adjustment Act and the Natural Industrial Recovery Act, have been rejected for being unconstitutional, as some congressmen have said. The rejection of the farm bills are the continuing steps in order to ensure the keeping of Roosevelt's power. Europe continues in their struggle, but the Nazi agenda of Germany continues to prove successful, along with the Scandinavian socialist reforms. Some critics have accused Roosevelt of socialist activities, and has even gone far as calling him a communist. Rest assured, America, that we will not follow in the steps of Stalin. Nevertheless of the accusations, we are excited to see Roosevelt in his new term and his New Deal. Now, a word from our sponsors. A hot summer day in need of a refreshment? Look no further, for Budweiser is there to cool your parched throat. Quality is an American trait, and any American, whether from New York, Milwaukee, San Francisco, or Los Angeles, are all able to spot the quality in Budweiser beer. Budweiser is great for any time of day, whether it be quitting time, at dinner, or in your spare time. During those hot summer days or a long day at work, it's the welcome relief you deserve. No longer having to enjoy your refreshment in secret, for Budweiser is nationwide and here to quench your thirst. Budweiser will bring the finest taste brewed from our breweries with the purest ingredients of rice, hops, and barley. Now introducing our new aluminum cans, you can feel safe around friends and family, sure that no little ones will be playing with glass. Budweiser brings a cool breeze, and you can get that cool breeze all over the world because everyone recognizes signature taste. Budweiser beer is a fresh, cool relaxation that can be enjoyed in all 48 United States. Budweiser, America's finest beer. We now return to regular programming.
Hello, this is Yesenia Malagon reporting to you this week's sports status. The Olympics in Berlin, Germany, hosted by Adolf Hitler, grabbed Americans' attention and pulled them to the event, forgetting about the Great Depression and economic trials. This year's games, being the first to be broadcasted on television, really did the trick to relieve stress from several American families and homes. The Olympics this year lasted 15 days, welcoming a total of 3,963 participants to Germany, 3,632 men and 331 women. 49 nations from all around the world participating. 3 contestants got what they went for, being a top medalist. Unfortunately, not everyone leaves being the top winner. Representing the United States, Jesse Owens, age 23, placing for track and fields athlete, the crowd hysterically cheering with excitement. The gymnastics category awarded Conrad Frey, age 27, winning as a top medalist, along with Hendrika Mastenburg, age 27, taking the reward to Netherlands, placing the swimming category. Many more viewers tuned in for the Olympics debut for basketball, canoeing, and field handball. 23 nations participating in the basketball category, competing for the medals. James Naismith, age 75, awarded a medal for the top 3 teams. United States as gold, Canada as silver, and last but not least, Mexico as bronze. A total of 119 canoers from 19 different nations gave it their best, but only 3 nations topping it all: Austria, Germany, and Canada, being the least popular, field handball, with 22 players eligible for participation from only 6 different nations. The results of the Olympics turned out to be Hitler's failed attempt to use the participants to prove a theory of Aryan racial superiority. Thank you for listening. This is Yesenia M. tuning out.
Now a special featured presentation from our cast and crew here at KTI San Francisco.
Welcome back to our regularly scheduled broadcast of Out of the Dust, an epic tale about the hardships that Billie Joe and her family had to go through in the Oklahoma Panhandle, which is within the Dust Bowl. We now like to present the 27th episode, The Accidents. We will start off one fine morning in Cimarron County, where the Kelby family was doing their morning routine.
Good morning, Ma.
Good morning, Billie Joe.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just fixing up Daddy's coffee. He even left a pail of water next to the stove for me to use.
Would you like me to tell Daddy that it's about to be ready soon?
Oh, thanks, Billie Joe, but I'll head over there once this is done. I need to discuss some things with your father.
Is it about the baby?
Yes, it might be due soon. It might be born by the end of the month or early August.
Wow, I can't wait, Ma.
Billie Joe's ma then pulled out a pot, placed it in the stove, and ignited a fire. What she didn't know is that the pail of water is actually kerosene that her dad left behind this morning. So when she poured the contents of the pail, instead of making coffee, she made a rope of fire.
Oh my gosh, what was in that bucket?
Ma, how did this happen? Hurry and get Daddy for help.
Ma ran out of the kitchen, screaming for the dad. Billie Joe tore after her, but remembering the burning pail and the spreading fire in the kitchen, she went back and grabbed it.
I need to get rid of this fast. The only opening here is the door.
Billie Joe ran out to the door and poured the content of the flaming pail. What she didn't know was that her mother came rushing back. The flaming liquid splashed to her apron, and in an instant, she became a column of fire.
Ah! Ma, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Billie Joe, desperate to save her, pushed her to the ground. She used her own two hands to try to beat down the fire. Every time she made contact to the flames, her hand got burnt and started to writhe with pain.
In the end, I was barely able to save Ma. I did the best I could, but it was no good. Me and Ma got burned bad.
And that concludes this week's episode of Out of the Dust. If you want to know more of what happened to Billie Joe and her ma after this incident, stay tuned for next week's episode. We now return to our regular scheduled programming. Hello, this is Jan reporting in about the current stock market and the economy. After 7 years of the Great Depression, our nation is starting to rise from the ashes as we regain all our economic losses and re-establish the stock market. But will this be enough to get out of the depression? Stay tuned to find out. The overall size of the American economy is measured by gross domestic products. This sharply declined following the crash on Wall Street from $103.6 billion in 1929 to its all-time low, $66 billion in 1934. But during this year, 1936, the economy has greatly recovered back to $83.8 billion in gross domestic products, thanks to New Deal and Franklin D. Roosevelt's guidance. This recovery was the most dramatic thus far in US history as we saw double-digit gains and big changes to the US economy. Other good news is that RFC Chairman Jesse H. Jones has announced that New York Central has repaid all of his government loans totaling to $16,858,950, most of which was not due until 1941. Along with the recovery of the US economy, the stock market has been increasing. Though not back to its peak in 1929 before the crash, it is inclining in a steady rate. This is good news because the stock market is beginning to stabilize once more. The Dow Jones stocks is now back at 140, which is increased by 99 ever since mid-1932, which is an incredible improvement. Overall, will the economy be able to rise back to its original state before the crash, or will this nation continue the everlasting depression? Through statistical predictions and the progress we are making thus far, experts say that we will be able to climb out of this depression and once again see prosperity. Though it will take a long time, our nation will steadily go back up to its former glory, one step at a time. Now another word from our sponsors.
Are you on your break at work or just want to lose those extra pounds, ladies? Well, now you can with Lucky Strike cigarettes. Lucky Strike brings a nice mellow sensation that you won't experience with any other brand of cigarette and proven to lose weight, especially for the ladies. Lucky Strike is made with the finest tobacco grown here in the US, baked by hard-working Americans, providing only the best of quality in our slow roasting process, ensuring that all flavors are kept and preserved. Each puff you take, you'll be assured that fresh, clean moisture is taken in from each tobacco leaf brought to your hands. Mellow taste, freshness. Top scientists agree that Lucky Strike will bring you a long-lasting life full of positive relief. With more freshness and less irritating throat totters, Lucky Strike is naturally light and always by your side. Luckies have reached record high numbers of sales, ensuring that you're making the right decision in your choice of cigarette. Top Hollywood stars agree. They strike with Lucky Strike. Lucky Strike Tobacco Company of Richmond, Virginia. It's toasted. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
This is Pamela Alvarado talking about changing roles of women in 1936. Honey, I'm home is the most common American phrase, but gentlemen won't be the only ones saying that anymore. Women are starting to find jobs, and there are fewer women at home now. There have also been improving work conditions thanks to the New Deal proposed by FDR. The New Deal has helped many people across America find new jobs. Men now have a higher chance of finding a new job, but so do women. Although many men are taking every job opportunity there is, women are taking the jobs men do not want. For example, secretaries, nurses, teachers, librarians, and etc. While men can take these jobs as well, women generally get paid less than them. Before the New Deal and the Great Depression, women were expected to stay at home and take care of the children. When the Great Depression hit, women were depended on to keep the family financially stable and make the best with what they had. But when women started to work, they were accused of taking men's job. From 1935 to this year, 1936, the median family income was $1,160, but that is just a general estimation. Roughly $20 to $25 are used a week to buy food, pay rent, and buy new clothing and whatnot. Women still have to be housewives although they have a job. No one else is going to help them take care of the children, clean, or cook. As of now, more than 80% of Americans feel like women should not work if their husband works and supports her and the family. But that does not stop women from finding work, although they get paid little. Sometimes a woman's husband works very far with heavy machinery. That may also cause stress to them because there have been stories about husbands losing their lives at their jobs.
And that concludes this week's broadcast from KT1 San Francisco. Thank you for listening, and if you enjoyed the content, make sure to stay tuned and get ready for next week's broadcast.